Good evening. We apologize for the light response to the 9 p.m. alarm that has called us to bring to you this wonderful bulletin. My name is Consolata Chibalonza. Indeed, it is a beautiful Wednesday evening. Today is Know Your Law, and as always, we have an issue to talk about that concerns or pertains the world of law. Of course, today we'll be looking at lands, but before we even look at lands, we will have a glimpse into what is going on with the acting IG, that is Masengeli, and his summons and his refusal to appear before the court. What is going on and what could he be afraid of? That we shall be featuring together with Ezra, who is our Wakili for the day, and he is already in the building, very ready to answer all the questions that you might have. Start bringing them in as soon as now. Today, on today's stories, we shall be looking at the airport scandal that has been going on throughout the day. Of course, we know it started yesterday night when there was a go-slow in JKIA, and today waking up to a full-blown strike from other airports, including Mombasa, as well as Eldoret and Kisumu. Now, this and many more stories will be with you, also including the ODM directive that was given earlier on today that has allowed Anyang' Nyong'o to represent the ODM party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga. Meanwhile, as he is out there, this is not a replacement, but a part-time holding of their position. This and many more stories will be following in the next few seconds. Stay glued, stay around, stick around. Now, welcome. Kenya's Airport Workers Union has called off a strike that grounded flights in the country's main airport on Wednesday over awarding the contract for its modernization and operations to an Indian firm. The decision came after a day-long talks between the union leaders and the government. The workers were protesting a build and operate agreement between the Kenyan government and India's Adani Group that would see the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport modernized and an additional runway and terminal constructed in exchange for the group running the airport for 30 years. Now, Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir arrived at the airport for discussions with various stakeholders to end the strike and resolve the issues raised by JKI workers. Speaking to both the workers and senior management, Chirchir mentioned that negotiations and agreements had already been reached between the union and management. However, the Secretary General of the Kenya Aviation Workers Union, Mos Ndiema, expressed disagreement with the sale of the airport to the Adani company.
And when employer is not responding to the workers' needs in a programmed manner or procedural manner, workers are always left with no alternative other than going on strike. I personally, as Secretary General of KOTU, I tried to call the then Minister, Honorable Murkomen, before when this thing started, with a view of trying to educate him or to advise him to meet the workers and explicitly explain this Adani issue to workers. Our ministers are arrogant. They don't take telephones. If they are taking telephones, they are taking telephones from businessmen or employers, and they disregard workers' calls. This is very dangerous. This is what has brought all about what is happening here now. But we are prepared. We are now leaving for a meeting, and we will be reporting back. But strikes in the airports or in any other enterprises are always there. Some few days ago, I was in one of the international countries and all airlines workers were on strike and the delays were as usual witnessed and so on. And we are urging our members to remain firm, to remain strong. They have our support until we report back on this particular issue. This was a very, very simple matter where the assurance to workers in writing that our members will lose no jobs and their jobs will remain protected by both government and as it is required by law. And that assurance alone, we wouldn't have been to where we are. But a lot of arrogance. The Adani issue is as if it is exclusive to management alone and government.
And now moving away from that, from the fact that they indeed went back to job, this is a look at what was happening. Passengers at Moi International Airport in Mombasa faced major delays due to a go-slow by airport workers. By 10 a.m., long queues had formed with some travelers waiting for hours to board their international flight. The strike, which began on Tuesday night, affected operations at JKIA in Nairobi as well as airports in Kisumu, Eldoret and Mombasa. Here is what happened during the day.
Karibu. Kama ndio unaenda.
As I had mentioned earlier on, Kisumu Governor Anyang' Nyong'o has been appointed interim leader of the Orange Democratic Movement Party, tasked with chairing the Central Management Committee, one of the party's top decision-making bodies. This appointment follows ODM party leader Raila Odinga's decision to step back from leadership duties to focus on his campaign for the AU Commission chairmanship, with elections set for February next year. Nyong'o will lead the Central Management Committee until February 2025, overseeing key decisions within the party's leadership structure.
That in light of the grueling campaign by our party leader and the need for him to focus on this for the AU chairmanship, he has designated His Excellency Honorable Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, the Governor of Kisumu, to chair any and such meetings of this committee, the Central Committee, that may become necessary during periods of his absence. For those of you not familiar with the constitution of ODM, the Central Committee is the only organ of the party that is chaired by the party leader, and that therefore, for him to concentrate on his campaigns as the chairperson for the chairpersonship of the AUC, he has designated the Governor of Kisumu, His Excellency Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, to chair the meetings of this committee whenever he will not be able to attend. Number two, that the state of affairs in Kakamega County Assembly has now become unacceptable. The party has, via official communication, designated Honorable Geoffrey Ondiro as the majority leader. This directive has, however, been repeatedly frustrated by individuals led by the county governor, the speaker, and the former leader of majority, Honorable Maina. The committee has therefore resolved to summon the three to appear before it at a date to be communicated. In the meantime, however, the party insists that forthwith the speaker must implement the directives, and further that all purported changes to committee membership and leadership be and are hereby revoked. Number three, that the party has also received complaints of wrangling within its ranks in Kilifi County, and the committee has resolved that the two deputy party leaders, His Excellency Honorable Simba Arati, the Governor of Kisii, and Honorable Ososi, the Senator for Vihiga, as deputy party leaders, to hold an urgent meeting with all stakeholders in Kilifi to resolve this matter. They shall be joined by the National Organizing Secretary, who is here, the Honorable Abdisalam.
Now that marks the end of the first chapter of Know Your Law. Every Wednesday, you know, we have the segment that entails an interview with a person who is well suited when it comes to matters law, and that is none other than an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. And today we've been graced to have Ezra Ngwono, who will be joining me in just a few minutes from now. And we're gonna go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about what is happening right now with Masengeli being called by the court, being called to appear before the court, and him refusing to go, him being found guilty of contempt of court. What happens? We are waiting for a ruling that will be given tomorrow. That is a sentence, since he was already found guilty. What will happen since he has refused to appear before the court? Apart from that, we shall be looking at matters lands, the distribution of lands, the possession of lands, and all matters lands. If you have any questions pertaining to these topics, please holler us on EBN TV across all social media platforms. My name is Consolata Chibalonza. I'll be seeing you in a bit together with Ezra Ngwono.